What in the broken Britain cost of fucking living bullshit is this now?
After on a Sunday afternoon.
I'm telling you off. I'm not going on.
Have you ever noticed a few years back, everyone was doing the big weekly shopping, full trolleys piled up to the brim and even the packets all falling off. But now, look around. Most people are walking about with a little basket or a half-empty trolley, even on payday, right?
Can't really go into a supermarket without spending 100 quid. Straight up. These companies are making an absolute fortune off the back of people struggling.
So the average salary in UK right now is about 36,000, and honestly, it got me thinking, is that actually enough for someone living on their own? Let's be real, you are not living any kind of luxury on that. You're basically surviving.
100 quid for a plastic Santa. Oh my days.
Is my electric company charging me mad prices? Huh? £2,008.88 British sterling pennies, big man. Nah.
As if our government isn't taking every fucking penny off of us as it is.
It's so fucked up. The corruption is just unreal. Imagine if we did stuff like this. We'd be locked up in prison and everything. We'd never get a job in our lives. But these fuckers have pensions, everything. They get looked after, security for the rest of their fucking life.
The probability of you being born is very, very small. And then for someone to turn around and go, it's going to cost you for your life.
Welcome back to Broken Britain, where we say what real people are feeling, not what politicians wish we'd say. And today's topic hits a nerve, because what we're dealing with isn't inflation, isn't global pressures, and definitely isn't household budgeting issues. It's greed. Pure greed. Energy bills are climbing again, even though wholesale prices have dropped. Care homes are charging families thousands a month while offering the bare minimum. Food prices are still sky high, even though companies are posting record profits. Every sector that matters to ordinary people seems to have the same strategy. Charge more, give less, blame the economy, repeat. Brits aren't stupid. We know when we're being squeezed. We know when we're being milked. We know when the crisis stops being a crisis and starts becoming a business model. So hit that subscribe button, because today on Brit Rants, we're asking the real question. How much more can ordinary people take before Britain finally admits this isn't economics, it's exploitation?
Have you ever noticed a few years back, everyone was doing the big weekly shopping, full trolleys piled up to the brim and even the packets all falling off. And even in the car parks, you'd see people loading up the boot like they were off camping for a month. But now, look around. Most people are walking about with a little basket or a half-empty trolley, even on payday, right? And that's not a one-off, that's an indicator. When the big shopping disappears and it turns into just grab a few bits and pieces here and there to tide you over, it really means that confidence is gone. Wages haven't kept up, prices keep climbing, and every single shopping that you do, they try to squeeze a bit more juice out of us. And make no mistake, the supermarkets know exactly what's happening. And they aren't taking it sitting down. They're adapting to make a big profit off it. You see, smaller shopping basket means more frequent trips to the supermarket, more high margin impulse buys, fewer staff needed, more shrinkflation, and that small pack, same price if you're wondering. More club card only prices, more yellow stickers that make you think you're saving when you're actually just spending more often. And the politicians, they say the economy is recovering, but we see the truth. Every time we walk down an aisle with a trolley, that gets lighter by the month. And if your trolley's turned into a basket lately, you're not the only one. It's happening all over the country. I'm wondering, have you ever noticed the same thing, or am I the only one?
Is my electric company charging me mad prices? Huh? £2,008.88 British sterling pennies, big man. Nah. Oh, that's £167 a month. I'm a care and support worker, yeah. So what? I make £12.50 an hour, if that. So what? I might have to work 2 7-hour shifts to keep my fridge humming. You're wild. Nah, I can't believe this. £167 a month, yeah, should be spent on feeding, clothing and providing education for my children, not funding the electric company's holiday package. Like, are they okay out here? No. Can someone please explain this maths to me? Because the math ain't mathing. What? Am I lighting up Blackpool Tower? Because I'm too loud to be ignored out here. Follow for more chaos.
So the average salary in UK right now is about 36,000, and honestly, it got me thinking, is that actually enough for someone living on their own, paying all the bills on their own, maybe raising kids, trying to have a bit of social life? Like 2025 going into 2026, does 36,000 really stretch anymore? Yes, it's maybe on paper it's not a bad salary. Let's be real, you are not living any kind of luxury on that. You're basically surviving, covering your bases, maybe treating yourself once in a while if nothing unexpected pops up. I was genuinely shocked when I heard this number. I thought the average would be lower, but no. It sits at 36,000 and most people still aren't earning even that. You got a partner, it's obviously easier. 2 salaries can take a little bit of pressure off. If both of you are earning 36,000, you're pretty comfortable possibly. But I want to know your thoughts. Do you earn around this? Do you earn less? Do you earn more? And how are you actually managing the cost of living in the UK right now? Drop it in the comments, I'm curious.
After on a Sunday afternoon.
So you can't even laugh at that now because it's actually quite sad with the cost of living. That used to be pretty bad. And I would say embarrassing. I would say there were some people that embarrassed themselves because they were just like absolutely desperate. Now, you probably can't tell the people who are desperate and the people who are always there. It's just really sad that people have to behave like that and have people have to be desperate for a discount because everything's gone up. So you can't even sit here and say, why are you acting like that? Because some people may be so desperate to try and get some discounts for food. I will say though, with the expiry dates, you're not going to eat all that within 24 hours. So some people do go OTT, but it's just generally quite sad. Sorry.
There's a phrase that I really fucking hate. It really gets me down to my bones, and that's when people say the cost of living. The cost of living. Someone woke up one day and decided, we're going to charge people for water, which is a human right. We're going to charge people for food. Do we charge the animals? Do we charge the birds for water and food? No, we fucking don't. It really pisses me off when we label this the cost of living. The cost of living. The probability of you being born is very, very small. And then for someone to turn around and go, it's going to cost you for your life to live. The cost of fucking living. There's people that come over on the boats that are in the hotel. Are they affected by cost of living? No, they fuck. No, not at all. Everything's free. They're not worried about the cost of living. The cost of living? Wow, life is free. This is great. It's only us fucking idiots that get the cost of living. I hate it. It's disgusting. It's a vile phrase.
See, the cost of living's gone up. The sky is stained, teabag orange, the hands are stained, working class red, and the sun has set over the street. The kids still swing above cracked concrete and the street sign still reads, no ball games, in the same kind of eviction letter font that our parents watch out for in white envelopes. So big and bold, and all these kids can think of is how high up they can go, or how rusty the swing set chain is, and in this moment, this is as free as freedom gets, until all they can think of is how high up the rent can go, or how rusty this ball and chain is around our ankles, and in this moment, this is much freedom as this country can afford us. You see, the news is still on at 6 p.m. and their suits are still steam pressed an hour before. They say the cost of living's gone up. But the women at the market stalls could have told you that because they don't tolerate no haggling no more. They say the price is the price because they got mouths to feed. So my mother's sighs grow deeper than the pocket she reaches into. Because they say the cost of living's gone up. But the bills could have told you that because they don't tolerate no haggling no more. They say the price is the price because they got CEOs to pay. So I'm wondering, how much is this life worth when no one can afford to live it? You see, the sky is now newspaper gray, and the only light at the end of the tunnel is the reflection coming from polished cufflinks on white-collar crime sleeves glistening into the distance. And the government ministers say the cost of living's gone up. But the kitchen walls could have told you that, because the kids don't steal food from pots no more. You see, the price went up, so portion sizes went down, and the cat's no longer curious when the food runs out, and lines are still long, and hours have been cut short, and what good is a poem when your home is not warm? And what use is a house haunted by white envelope? And what good is a tax break when you've broken bones to dig yourself out from a collapsing economy? You see, the cost of living's gone up, but I could have told you that. Sky is black, the hands are red, the sun has set over my street. Thank you.
As if our government isn't taking every fucking penny off of us as it is. I need to get my head around something, right? And please tell me if anyone's experienced this. So I got an email from our doctor's surgery saying, do not come to the surgery for small conditions such as ear infections. Go straight to the pharmacy. They can deal with it. They can prescribe you. Well, I've got an ear infection. Okay, so I walk into the pharmacy. Can you prescribe me something, please? Yes, of course we can. We need a consultation first. We need to look in your ear. Not a problem. That's going to cost you £20. Sorry, fucking what? Pardon? You're going to charge me £20 to look in my ear, and then I'm going to pay on top of that for the prescription, when I could go to the doctor's surgery and they will look in my ear for absolutely fuck all. The whole idea of this is to take the pressure off the doctor's surgery, yeah? So there's less people through the doors. Who in their right mind is going to do that? Then, just to top it off, well, if you don't want to pay the £20, that's absolutely fine. You can phone your doctors, get a referral to this chemist, then we can do the consultation at a reduced price for a tenner. So then you want to still charge me a tenner on top of my prescription? You fucking mad? Is this country gone fucking bonkers? The working class person is getting absolutely shafted left, right and fucking centre. I cannot get my head around this shit. What is going on? The world's gone mad. Actually, the UK has gone fucking mad, right? We pay our taxes, yes? Is that not for the NHS and all the rest of it? I just want some fucking eardrops.
Hello, second video in a day. So we're going through what America went through. So the Biden administration was sending millions and millions and hundreds of millions, possibly billions of dollars abroad, funding shitty little things in foreign countries which didn't need to be done. And Trump, when Trump took over, they released all the information where the money had been gone. Well, we're doing the exact same thing over here out there. Labour government are copying like copy and paste America, send all our fucking money, make us broke, leave another letter on the table at the end of when they've gone saying, get out of this one. We've spent everything, got you in so much trouble. It's so fucked up. The corruption is just unreal. It's rife. Imagine if we did stuff like this, we'd be locked up in prison and everything. We'd never get a job in our lives. But these fuckers have pensions, everything. They get looked after, security for the rest of the fucking life. We need Nuremberg trials times 2, take 2. We fucking do Nuremberg. Everybody who's done all these crimes against humanity needs to be held accountable and they need to be arrested and held for the crimes what they've done. Because there's crimes happening to this day in the Western world that if anybody else did it, we'd be fucked. You know what I mean? So, guys, you know, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. And we're the gander. Yeah, the government work for us. We don't work for the government. Yeah? Never forget that one. Anyways, guys, shit's going to change soon. So buckle up and pay attention.
Fucking hell. Put up the lion bars. That's more like a fucking cub bar. Okay, that's about the size of yours.
£17.70 for that. I ain't gonna take it out of context. I'll tell you exactly what's in that. A foot long brown bread, double tuna, double cheese, bit of salad, bag of crisps, 2 bottles of water, and a Fanta fruit twist. £17.70. That fucking hurt. I didn't take my lube with me either. So yeah, gonna be sore for the next couple of days.
Okay, we're off to the range. See what they got in stock. And I know I'm going to be saying it. Someone call 999 because these prices are criminal. 100 quid for a plastic Santa. Oh my days. Cool. The lure pack. £4.75 for a standard. Wow. Yeah, they're not real butter. £5 for a multi-pack. Last one of those I bought was $1.99. Jesus. See, Pringles aren't getting any cheaper. I know we do the old £1.20 specials at Christmas, but those days are gone. $2.50 for a fucking Fray Bentos pie. And look at the size of it. You need 2 of them for your dinner. Jesus.
What in the broken Britain cost of fucking living bullshit is this now? So, I was looking for an IB for aluminium pergola. I looked online. It showed me various places. But here we go, look at this. So here we have this, £1,500. Okay, so £1,500, a little bit steep, I think, don't you? So there you fucking have it. The range have got to be making at least £1,000 on one item. What a piss take. Stop robbing the people. Start being fair. That's all we're asking, just fairness.
So I just went into my local co-op to get a few bits and bobs. We've got a co-op at like the bottom of our road, and I've got to admit I go into it like most days to get the odd bits and bobs. But the prices, like, I know we've got a cost of living crisis, but oh my word, the prices of these things, just look. Anyone want some ketchup? Do you want a little bit of ketchup to go with your chips? Look at that. £4.10. £4.10 for just a standard size ketchup. But it gets better. Just watch. Would you like a chicken? A nice roast chicken? One of these chickens? Guess how much? Not even a large chicken. It'd probably feed a family of 4 if you're lucky. Ready? £7.15. £7.15 for one chicken. £7.15. Oh my goodness. And do you want some gravy to go with your chicken? Some gravy, maybe, to go with the chicken, you know? Bisto. Low price. £4.30 for some gravy granules. £4.30. Bisto was like, remember that advert of that family sat around the table? Bisto. Bisto. No, not at £4.30. Low price. And then maybe, you know, it's getting a bit cold outside, isn't it? We've got snow forecast and stuff. Maybe the kids want a hot chocolate, you know, maybe. Let's get some hot chocolate. £6.20 for some instant hot chocolate. £6.20. You go in, buy those 4 items and spend over 20 quid. That's from the co-op. These prices are daylight robbery. How? £6.20 for some hot chocolate. That is crazy. And then maybe you've got a dishwasher. Maybe, you know, you shove your plates and stuff in the dishwasher after you've cooked your £7 chicken with your £4 gravy. Let's buy some dishwasher tabs, shall we? £13. £13. I don't even know how many you get in. You probably get like 20 dishwasher tablets in there for £13. It's crazy prices. What income do people need to be earning to be able to buy this stuff? It's absolutely bonkers.
People are being a little bit more cautious on what they're buying these days in the supermarket. Everybody's struggling a little bit. You've been a bit more aware of what you're buying. You can't really go into a supermarket without spending 100 quid. Straight up. But our local shop is a co-op. But speaking to a few people, there's a lot of people saying the same thing. You know, the old dears are all panicking and all that type of thing. But co-op in 2025 reported a significant jump in profits, with pre-tax profits soaring from 28 million to 161 million they're making in profit. Tesco is expected to have earned 3.7 billion in profit. Asda's lost a little bit. Sainsbury's saw a 4.1 increase. So while everybody's struggling, and watching what they're buying and spending a fortune on food and whatnot. These companies are making an absolute fortune off the back of people struggling. It's absolutely shocking. It's a cost of greed crisis, not a cost of living.
I've ended up on the TikTok where people are talking about how bad the rental market is in the UK. And if you don't rent and you never have rented, you won't truly understand how bad it is. It's bad. It's so bad. I rented all my adult life up until now, and currently my situation is I live in my partner's house. He owns the house that we're in outright. I've got no claim on it legally. And I pay my way, etc., but ultimately I live in his house. And I've always worked, and just for context, I've always worked. I've never been on benefits. Not that makes me any better than anyone who ever has had benefits, but I've never claimed any benefits, never had any housing benefits, etc. I've always worked, always paid my rent, always had a steady income, worked full time from being 17. And I've always rented. And I got served with a Section 21 a few years ago, which is kind of like when I moved in to start living with my partner. The point is that the rental market is so bad now. Literally, they landlords and letting agents, oh my goodness, it's honestly impossible. And the reason I kind of told you a little bit about myself is just for context. It's not like I've always had a steady income. But even with that, honestly, what I'm trying to say is, if I had to move out of my partner's house for whatever reason, if the relationship broke down or whatever, I would not get a rental now. And I run my own business. I have money coming in. I would not get a rental. I would not pass the credit checks. And that's not to say I have bad credit. I've never really had any credit. I've moved address a lot, which that's been out of my control. I have moved address a lot. Like I say, never really had any credit. I wouldn't pass the credit check. They insist on guarantors. I've not got a guarantor. My mum's dead. When she wasn't dead, she didn't have a pot to piss in. I haven't got a single person. I don't have grandparents, mum, dad. I wouldn't get a guarantor. That's insanity. I'm 41 next month. The guarantor, the letting agents and the landlords, I'm sure they make up these criteria. And I just wouldn't pass it now. I probably wouldn't even pass an affordability check now, even though, like I say, I earn money. I run my own business. I just know I would not get a rental. And I'm at peace with the fact now that, like I say, if I had to move out of my partner's house, I would buy a caravan. I'd buy a caravan, a touring caravan, and I would find a site, or I'd site hop. If I had to, I'd buy a motorhome or a converted van and live in that for the time being until I could buy a caravan. But there's honestly no way that I would get a rental now. And also, I'm so kind of opposed to, I'm absolutely opposed to landlordism now. I wouldn't even want to pay a landlord, even if I could afford it and get a rental. I don't want to. I don't want to live somewhere where I'd have to hide my cats. Why would I want to? Do you know what I mean? Somewhere where I can't decorate, where I can't really truly feel at home, where I can't have my cats. Because I know they say, oh yeah, landlords have to let you have pets now. Who's policing that? How do you enforce that? It's just all nonsense. And I think more and more people, I follow quite a few content creators on this app and on others that are just living nomadically. People who live on narrowboats, they van life. They live in static caravans if they've managed to find some land, or they've bought a piece of land, like if they've had a house to sell or what have you. And more people are doing it. And honestly, I'm just at peace with the idea now. That is what I'd have to do if I had to move out. And despite all of this, it's nuts, isn't it? Don't get me wrong, there are far worse things going on in the world. We're very, very blessed in many ways in the UK. But also, it's fucked. The UK's fucked. The economy's fucked. Everything's fucked. The cost of living's absolutely astronomical. The work job market is absolutely insane for young people. Literally, it's fucked. I've not thought this video through properly, really. I'm just kind of speaking as I'm kind of thinking. But there's so much to it. And I'm confident that more and more people will just opt for the nomadic life. Like I say, living on boats, living in touring caravans, van lifing. Even people are just buying a tent. and just literally making themselves homeless. And I'm not romanticising homelessness, and neither are these people. Like, don't get me wrong, I think there are people experiencing hardship and being homeless through absolutely no fault of their own, and there are people like making the choice. It's happening. It's happening. And I just wanted to talk about it because it's on my mind. Does anybody else feel like this? Is anyone else just kind of resigned to the fact now that if you had to move out for whatever reason, that you'd live as a nomad? And you know what? Like I say, I'm very, very blessed to be able to live with my partner now. And I don't want that to change anytime soon. But if it did, like, I'm not romanticising it, homelessness and nomadic living, because it's not easy, it's hard. But also, like, it's a bit exciting, isn't it? Like, the thought of it. I think it is anyway. Anyway, what does everyone think?
I've recently been going through the bank statements between me and my partner to figure out where our income is going, because I think it's important to understand your numbers inside of your house. And I've come to the conclusion that majority of our finances right now, especially, is going in food. And I'm not talking about Deliveroo and Uber Eats and going out on date nights. I'm talking about just the basic necessities of food. And as these things normally do, it led me down a little rabbit hole, which led me to look into the profit margins and the profits of a lot of the supermarkets that majority of people in the UK use, like Tesco, who have seen an adjusted operating profit of £3.128 billion. It says here in millions, but £3.128 billion, an increase of 10.9% at constant rate on the previous year. 10% in a year. Then I thought I'd have a quick look at Sainsbury's, who've had a 7.2% increase to £1.036 billion, which is 1,038 million, right? Increase on profits from this year compared to the year before. Over 7% increase and over 10% increase on profits within a year is actually insane. Like, that's crazy. And in a lot of instances, we're the ones that's footing that bill, because the prices in these supermarkets have become ultimately obscene. And unless you have a loyalty card, there's no point shopping there at all, especially if you want to buy healthy things like vegetables and fruit, which you're going to have to buy multiple times in a week because they don't really last 3 or 4 days. We have to then also consider the fact that shoplifting has become incredibly prevalent in a lot of these supermarkets because people just can't afford to eat. And also, on top of that, which I find completely mind-boggling, is the fact that majority of their staff has been cut and been replaced with self-service machines, which means that they're creating less jobs, charging people more for their food, and also turning their supermarkets into Fort Knox to stop shoplifters. And then on top of that, have the audacity to charge me 30 to 50p for a bag to carry my shopping home. When I watch content like Gary's economics posts, which I absolutely love, he constantly talks about not taxing working class people. And we always look at the government when it comes to that. But in reality, the people who are taxing us the most is corporate. It's the corporate world, those who we buy resources from, those who we buy consumer goods from. And in reality, we have all of the power, really. Which is why I honestly think at some point, and I think that point is right now, we need to move away from just solely shopping in convenience, like buy everything from just one shop. We need to really be moving from shop to shop to find the best possible price that you can get, and also spending our money with independent and small businesses like in markets and farmers markets. We've made the change quite recently to buy locally sourced food in farmers markets and local markets, and honestly, the quality is so much better and the price is actually a little bit cheaper.
Well, I'm bloody bankrupt, so how am I able to stay here? Let's talk costs of this caravan. So, we'll talk about the costs I have now compared to what I used to pay when I had a flat. Starting off, rent. I used to pay £550 a month for rent. This did not include gas, electricity and other bills, obviously. But living here, I pay £150, which includes electricity, council tax, and obviously to stay here for the ground. Next, let's talk about electricity and gas. So when I lived in the flat, I paid £150 a month, which was a lot, to be honest, and I didn't even use that much. I never had heating on, so it was a nightmare. Here, I pay £20 a month for gas, and like I mentioned before, electricity comes with my ground cost. So another big difference in cost there. Council tax. When I lived in my flat, I had that 25% off because I was a single person, which cost me £100 a month. Here, it's included in my ground cost. So let's talk totals. For my flat, I paid £800 a month, which equals out to 9,600 a year. Okay, for my caravan, obviously I paid £600 for the caravan, so we're going to include that into the yearly rate. It's £2,640 a year, and after the first year it goes down £600 because you don't have to buy a caravan every.
Those greedy bastards. Who am I referring to? Junior doctors. I solemnly swear to heal the sick, comfort the dying, and increase my own pay slip to an astronomical level for my own greed. Literally, 29% is their demand, and they're going on strike until they get it voted today. What happened to the Hippocratic Oath? You know, first do no harm. That has gone. It's been thrown out because you're doing harm to the public. How can you demand 29% pay increase after receiving 8.8% on your last pay increase? Where does this stop? Will you want 50% next year? You are a doctor. Care for those who are in need. It's the most disturbing pinch point in your life when you find yourself so ill that you're crying out for that help and the doctor is there. No, they're not there now because they will be on strike. They're demanding 29%. I call that greed. That is the concept of greed. You know, you've got the public over a barrel, but I tell you this, the public may turn against you and then you'll be stuffed. You've lost your reputation. It's gone. We can see what really matters to you. Money.
Right, hi everyone. I want to talk about something uncomfortable, but it is crucial and it needs to be said. There's a lot of greed in this sector, in the care sector. People see children's homes or adults' homes or any care home as an opportunity to make money fast. They forget the whole point of why these homes exist in the first place. At the end of the day, these are children's lives that we're talking about, adult lives that we're talking about. They have real trauma, real stories, real feelings, real people who have been failed many times beforehand. And what I keep seeing, especially lately, over the past few months, are people buying properties, rushing registrations, hiring the wrong staff, hiring the wrong manager, and just rushing everything in general, cutting corners, all because they want to open as fast as possible. But the truth is, Ofsted will see that, staff will see that, most importantly, the children and adults will feel it. If money is your first priority, the sector will expose you. And that's why when people approach me, clients approach me, I make it clear that you're building a service, not just a profit. At the end of the day, yes, it is a business. It has to make money. I get that. But that will follow if you're doing things right. If you have the right structure, the right staffing, safeguarding, integrity, then everything will follow. The homes aren't a side hustle, you know? It's not. It is people's life you're controlling. And you need to do it for the right reasons. You need to do it because you care. You want to nurture these people. You want to create a safe, stable life environment for these people. So always quality first, integrity, and everything else will come later. And believe it or not, this is a true story. I had a couple of clients who had approached me and I had to reject. I could have made easy money. However, I will never compromise my morals and I will never put people's lives at risk. So if you want to do it the right way, get in touch. If you want to see more of this content, then drop a like, drop a follow. It's much appreciated.
The cost of school uniforms. So I've got one child left at school. My 16-year-old's starting college or sixth form in September. So my 13-year-old, he seems to have grown a foot over the school holidays. So it was new blazer, trousers, 2 PE tops. Now I'm going to show you the receipt. Now this doesn't include shoes and shirts, but this is the cost of his uniform. And bear in mind, so there's 3 pairs of trousers, 2 polo shirts for PE, a blazer, and he always loses his ties, the clip-on thing, so I'm getting him 2 ties. But look at the cost of a uniform, and this is without shirt and shoes. £127. So the blazer was £33. 2 PE tops were £15 each. 3 pairs of trousers, £17 each. And 2 ties, £6.50. So by the time you add on some shirts and some shoes, you're probably talking just, and you need some jogging bottoms. You talk £200 for school uniform. Now, I only have the one child left in school. I really feel for those who have a couple of children, especially in senior school. And you can only go, especially to see in senior school, one particular shop for the uniform, because it has the logo, and you have to have the logos on the polo shirt, you have to have the logo on the blazer. Yeah, and because he's grown so much, he has to have it. So let us know your cost, how much you've spent on school uniforms. Is mine cheap? I don't feel like it's cheap. I thought the government were doing something about school uniforms and that you could go to different places for them. But yeah, let us know your cost of school uniforms and how much you've spent in the comments. Catch you later.
Hi everybody, excuse the hair, coloured it this morning, having it cut tomorrow, so yeah, I've not done anything with it and I'm not leaving the house, so there's no point. Anyway, did my Iceland shop yesterday and I saw these on this item on there. Jammy Dodgers, giant Jammy Dodgers. Now, I love a biscuit, you know, who doesn't, especially with a brew. But I think they were £1, right? And they were on one of the offers, like the 10 for £10 or whatever, 5 for £5, I can't remember. But I'm expecting probably that big, maybe. Are you ready? This is the giant Jammy Dodger. If I can get in it. Comes everywhere. But this is the giant Jammy Dodger. Sorry, but giant? What giants are we modelling these on then? Just yeah. Obviously they'll taste nice, they're a Jammy Dodger, but I'm not expecting bigger than that. Anyway, have a good Sunday.
Hello there, people of the interwebs. Welcome to Ken B News UK. So, big news today, guys, and it is big news. Energy prices are going up again. Unbelievably, energy prices are going up again. We pay, I keep seeing figures saying that we pay 3 times as much as the rest of Europe for our energy. And the main reason for that, in my view, is that the shareholders are getting the bulk of the money. The energy companies are borrowing like there's no tomorrow so that they can give shareholders money, give them a big dividend. It's ridiculous. They should privatise it. One of the biggest problems I've got is the fact that one of the big energy companies, one of the big 3, is owned by the French government, the French people. And we're subsidising their energy because we need to use their company to supply us with energy. Who's got the backhander for that, mate? Who took the shilling for that one? Yeah? What do you think? What do you think in the comments? What are your energy bills like? Because ours are horrendous and they're only going to increase. It's unbelievable. It really is.
Guys, the cost of living. Hey, my goodness. Listen, remember when I was telling you guys that that when I paid money to order pepper soup, that it was I could have made the whole pepper soup with that. No, I lied. I forgot where I am. I forgot I'm in the United Kingdom, where cost of living is cost living. Actually, it's in the world. Bro, definitely spend more than double. Oh, excuse me. Definitely spend more than double. You know, when you quickly leave your house, you're thinking, nah, I'm just gonna spend £20, max £30. Ah! When this guy was just scanning, I said, okay, what's happening here? I thought I was just gonna spend what I used yesterday. Hey, this UK. Well, people are complaining everywhere, but try. That was a shock. It was a shock to the system, but it's so good. The pepper soup we must make today. And this pepper soup better come out nice, you know. It better come out nice, because what? Hey! I was not prepared for that. Anyways, managed to get all my bits on my way home to my husband and my baby, so I can make this pepper soup. Okay. I was complaining that it was expensive, but when I ordered it yesterday, but they have to make their money. If this is the amount of money they're paying to get the ingredients, I don't blame them, because I thought that portion, when I ordered, I was thinking, no, like it was going to be a big portion and I was going to be able to have half yesterday and maybe another half today. That portion, I said, this is quite small. But I was feeling so unwell that I wasn't ready to be complaining. I just ate and I enjoyed it. Anyways, it is what it is. Cost of living is just cost living.
Let's call this what it is: a coordinated extraction of wealth from ordinary households. Energy bills? Despite wholesale gas prices dropping by nearly 60%, households are still paying inflated rates, and energy companies are announcing record profits. Care homes? Average costs have jumped to £1,200 to £1,600 per week, and families are being financially drained just to ensure their loved ones are safe. Supermarkets? They've quietly kept prices high even as supply chains stabilised, because people have no choice but to buy essentials. This isn't a normal cost of living crisis. This is corporate greed weaponised. People are skipping heating, skipping meals, delaying medical care, and drowning in invisible taxes, all while CEOs cash bonuses big enough to buy a house outright. And government, instead of protecting the public, they protect the profits. If Britain wants to survive this, it needs systemic change. Energy prices must reflect real market costs. Care must be affordable, not a luxury. Essential goods must be regulated when companies exploit crisis conditions. Wages must rise faster than corporate greed. Because if we continue like this, Britain won't just be broken. It'll be owned and operated by greed. And ordinary people will be nothing more than customers trapped in a system designed to keep them permanently struggling. This isn't a crisis anymore. It's an economic ransom. And unless something changes soon, the cost of living will become the cost of survival.